Good afternoon, everybody. I'm sure you can all hear me. You're all welcome to the webinar. I'm so excited that we have a lot of people joining us. Welcome, everybody. We thank everyone for joining us. We're about to start immediately. I'd like to welcome everyone to this webinar organized by Organization for Community Development Project, COMDEV. So excited to have everybody here. We're so excited for having everyone join us at this webinar. So we're going to commence immediately. Organization for Community Development Project, COMDEV, has put all of this webinar together for us all to be here. We have exciting people who are coming over to deliberate on topic that we all would resonate with. We have leadership. We will be talking extensively on leadership, women leadership in Nigeria. We're looking at the COVID-19, post the COVID-19 era, how women have fared in leadership. We're going to be looking at that extensively today, and we're so excited to have everyone on board. Welcome everyone for being part of this webinar. Okay, we're going to be kick-started immediately. I'd like to say that this webinar is in collaboration with WOGI. They're all basically NGOs who have come together to put this webinar together for all of us to deliberate on issues that affect us as women and as a nation as a whole, not just for women, but we have men who are in our midst as well. So we welcome everybody, and we're excited to have all of you here. The COMDEV is doing this webinar in collaboration with Women Organization for Gender Issues, that's WOGI. It's another NGO who are basically looking into issues that affect women generally. So we're going to be looking at issues that affect women as a whole as it pertains to leadership. And these NGOs have come together to look at this issue. So we're going to be having exciting speakers. We're going to be having women of value, women of who have been respected in their various fields, who are going to be talking about these issues on leadership. So we're going to be looking at the NGOs who have actually put this whole thing together. We talk about COMDEV. COMDEV is a non-governmental organization that is founded in promoting activities aimed at unlocking the potentials of community members, which includes men, women, youths, children, aged, and people with disabilities maximizing those potentials and developing people into self-reliance. That's for ComDev. And we're going to look at, ComDev is collaborating this event with Women Organization for Gender Issues, WOGI, which is equally a non-governmental organization as well, established among other things to produce and sponsor publications on gender issues with particular references to safe motherhood, maternity benefits, job security, and infant nutrition. Now, WOGI is also involved in highlighting obnoxious customary laws that dehumanize womanhood and hinder their economic growth. So basically, these two NGOs have come together to organize this webinar, and we're going to be learning a whole lot from them, especially from the speakers that we have on board. So we're going to start immediately. We're going to be introducing our host, Her Excellency, Barrister Mrs. Stella Odife. She is going to be starting off. She's the host of this event. And I'm so excited to have her here in our midst. She is a woman of valor. She is a woman of repute. I must say that I'm super excited to have her here in our midst. Now, Her Excellency Barrister Stella Odife is a human and gender rights activist and a public analyst. She was the Deputy Governor of Anambra State, and she is the principal partner of Odife & Co. Solicitors and Advocates. She is the founder and president of Women Organization for Gender Issues, WOGI. Congratulations, Madam, and I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome, Madam, to the webinar.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Madam Barrister, Her Excellency Barrister Mrs. Stella Odife will be giving us. Madam, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now, yes.
Thank you.
Can I start off?
Sure, go ahead, Madam.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this program. I'm so delighted to be here too, especially talking with this group of women. This month is our month. The month of March is our month, but specifically on the 8th of this month, we had Women's Day. We must thank the UN for bringing out the whole of this month for activities concerning women. As we're doing this here, it's being done all over the world, not just in Nigeria. And again, we must also thank our own leaders in Nigeria, who specifically, may her soul rest in peace, Mariam Babangida, for the Beijing. That's the beginning of our freedom. The topic we have today is very interesting, and it's easier for me to handle in the sense that we're talking about women's leadership achieving an equal future. So these are women already placed in leadership. I'm very sure that these wonderful women I have in this panel will do justice to it. When it's generally said that anybody, if you identify your problem is half solved. But in our own case, it seems that we're having a contrary view to that statement, because it's been long since the Beijing, since we got to know that women are being discriminated a lot, and we're able to find out most of the barriers then We're still marching behind, but we can't say we haven't moved. We have moved, but the expectation is higher than the level we have achieved so far. The the present is here. That's what we are asking. The women already in position. What do they do? What are they going to do to sustain their leadership position? Knowing that women generally are undervalued, our intelligence is underestimated, our stamina is also underestimated, and in fact, everything concerning our ability to handle any position by men. So it is a problem that we the women will work hard to showcase the extra, we make extra effort to showcase the intelligence we have. This is why we work extra hard generally. All women all over the world work very hard to maintain the position they have. Look at Okonjo-Iweala, look at Chimamanda, look at, when they come out real strong. And that's what we expect from our women. Now, the issue of the COVID pandemic, of course, is a new dimension that came into our problem unexpectedly. No one expected that by today, what we are doing now naturally would have gathered in a hall and be discussing, but technology has made it possible for us to go this way. And it couldn't have been possible if not for COVID, because we were not thinking on that direction. Everyone was always thinking of meeting friends and talking to people, live vision. So if there is nothing COVID did for us in the positive direction, I think the meeting we're having today already says it. The present is here. What the leaders are going to discuss, I'm sure they will let us know what the future holds for us. And we are talking about the present leaders, what we expect in the future. We cannot only talk about the present leaders without going down to the basis. We must continue to build up the younger generation who are going to come up to take over from the present. Otherwise, once we have that gap, we'll sink back to the position we were before. So there is need for us to continue to maintain the balance by looking at ways to enhance the younger generation to come up as real leaders, as formidable leaders, and who will take their rightful position. Now, we have eminent women who are really going to talk on these various issues. Mine is just to more or less highlight the fact that generally women are underestimated. And so leaders, as we are, must make every effort to showcase the best qualities of a leader. We must not overlook the laws that create very major barriers in our society. I'm sure the speakers also will highlight on those ones. We must also try our best to talk about the lessons learned from COVID. There are quite a lot. Did we learn any? Were there any? Yes. These are areas we expect to hear this afternoon from these amiable ladies in this program. Well, WOGI started off as a grassroots NGO well over 21 years now. We have advanced and left the grassroots for those who are really at the grassroots level. We now focus on mainly those women who are in leadership position and are having problems one way or the other with the employers. And I can tell you we have achieved quite a lot. There's no need talking about WOGI in the program because that's not what we came for. We came to discuss about women in leadership position. I will, at this point, allow the key speaker, uh, Dr. Mrs. Nkiri Fekwem, to kickstart the program by taking off from here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Her Excellency, Barrister Mrs. Stella Odife. You really threw a whole lot of light on the issue of women in leadership. And I like the fact that you mentioned mentoring, women leading themselves, especially leading the younger ones, holding them by the hand and, telling them that the future is bright and that they have to work hard, work twice as hard, like you mentioned. I'm really excited by that statement that you made. Okay, let's navigate to our keynote speaker, Dr. Mrs. Nkirika Ifekwem. Dr. Nkirika Ifekwem is going to be talking in line with the theme of this webinar, which is Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 world, the Nigerian perspective. She's going to be throwing more light on that. And then before I do that, I'd like to say that Dr. Mrs. Nkirika Ifekwem, she is the head of Department of Business Administration in the prestigious Bells University of Technology, the first private university of technology in Nigeria. She had all her academics at the University of Lagos, where she obtained a PhD in business administration, majoring in strategic management and entrepreneurship. She is a gender and human rights activist, a public analyst, and speaker in different fora. Dr. Mrs. Nkirika Ifekwem, you're welcome, and I'm excited to hear from you. And we're going to be learning from you. I'm sure that our audience are excited to hear from you concerning women in leadership. Dr. Mrs. Nkirika Ifekwem, you have the floor right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Johnson. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. My Excellency, you have already given my paper, so I just need to add more to what you said. The topic for today's lecture is Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in the COVID-19 World, the Nigerian Perspective. This is actually the theme of this year's International Women's Day. I hope my slides is shared to you. This shared? Okay. We are talking about leadership. Well, leadership, all of us know what leadership is. Yeah, we don't want to go into explaining leadership so much, but we all know that it's an art of influencing and motivating a group of people towards achieving a common goal. It's a process of social influence which maximizes the efforts of others toward the achievement of a goal. One common keyword is here in defining leadership. We are talking about achieving a common goal. So once there is a leader, the leader with the followers are attempting to achieve a common goal. So that is why when we have bad leadership, we find that in the first stage, there is no goal, talk less of achieving it. Because the leader and the followers must have a goal which all of them intends to achieve. That brings in my own perspective, I see leadership that is all about empowering people, inspiring people, leading change, and sharing vision. So when we talk about empowering people, leadership should be able to give power to some people, to the followers, make the followers stronger, confident, engaging them in cooperative with their needs in cooperative cooperating with their needs, listening to their ideas, valuing their inputs, and offering feedback. This is what leadership is supposed to do. Leadership also supposed to inspire people. Leadership is supposed to inspire people. That is stimulating people to do or feel who are with you, your followers. Leadership should lead change. This requires creating experience for people that reveals new possibilities while uniting them to drive strategies that harness resources. This can be achieved through communication, collaboration, and the leader making sure his or her own beliefs support change. A leader should have a belief which will also support change. Talking about shared vision, a leader should have a vision that helps the followers to become inspired and committed to the shared goal. There should be a goal which is shared, which everybody is working towards. I don't know whether you have my slides.
I share by brother.
We are going to share the slides. Sorry, we are trying to share the slides. So when we talk about women in leadership, what comes to mind immediately is glass ceiling. Glass ceiling. You find out that at the lower level in life, women attend or are qualified for different types of leadership, but when they get to the top, they have a glass that seals them from attaining the utmost level they're supposed to. Glass ceiling is coined by a management consultant, Marilyn Loden, and this is an acknowledged barrier to advancement in a profession, especially women and members of minorities. Glass ceiling is invisible barrier to success that many women come up with in their various careers. It is barriers in the careers of high achieving women. So when we talk about glass ceiling, you find out that women, like when they're in schools, you find a lot of girls being the best in the school, being the best in the class, and when they enter the labor market, they do very well. But once it comes to getting the highest position or the leadership position, a lot of barriers come their way to stop them from getting there. And when we talk about glass ceiling, incidentally, we have glass escalator for the main folk. Slide is okay. So we have the glass escalator. So glass escalator is where men enjoy glass escalator in female-dominated jobs. It's surprising that when you come to the female-dominated jobs, you have one man there, that man now become the champion. That is what glass escalator do for men. Whereas when women are in the male-dominated job, they are sealed by glass. So the glass escalator is a theory that suggests that in female predominant fields, men are promoted more quickly and with greater ease than women. You know, can we think about it? When you look at the Association of Nurses in Nigeria, this was started many years ago, but you find out that the leaders of this association have been men. We have the National Association of Nurses and Midwifery of Nigeria. Men have been their leaders all along, until most recently when you have a woman as a leader. And we ask yourself, how many nurses are giving you, male nurses are giving you injection before? And we talk about the association of midwives. I'm sure we don't have the mid husbands. What we have are mostly ladies. But in this association, you find that men are the ones taking the shots. Same thing happened with the NUT, Nigerian Union of Teachers, which is the association of teachers in primary and secondary schools, where we have almost 80% of female teachers. We found out that the men are the ones who are leading, who are their president, who are their secretary. They would rather let the woman have a position which they call a woman leader. And that is what happens in the political parties too. In the political parties, you have the men as the chairman of the party, the man as the secretary, the man as the treasurer, and they call a woman leader. And we don't know why we don't have a man leader. The woman leader has no particular official duty. So these are what we talk about glass escalator, which made the men do better in female-dominated jobs. Then let's look at women in leadership in Nigeria. Women in leadership position in Nigeria. Nigerian women have done very well, especially in other sectors except politics. In the economy, in business, in education, in banking. This is where comparatively there is level playing ground that make them to excel. So although women have done very well in those areas, our best is not good enough yet. There is still room for improvement. When we look at the academic, the higher institution is still a man's world. Out of 170 vice chancellors in Nigerian universities, less than 20, that's 11.7%, are female. So you see, women are still far behind. Why do we have this? Most successful and principled women as tough and named Iron Lady. The first female vice chancellor in Nigeria, Professor Grace Alele Williams, never found it funny. It was a turbulent season for her during her time. So the university environment, especially in federal university, subordinates women. But not that notwithstanding, we still have a lot of women who are doing well in leadership positions. We have them here, we said them here, we have who is the chairman of First Bank, who is the Minister of Finance. Although this could be said in politics, but it's an appointed position. When you talk about elective position, our women are nowhere to be found. The percentage is so minute that these are issues to be looked up today. We have our Okonjo Iweala that made us proud to be the DG of World Trade Organization. Do you know what? A question that came to my mind is, if Okonjo Iweala was to vie for a councillorship election in this country, I'm not sure she will win. To tell you how bad our electoral process is. And these are why women are not getting there. So these are issues that women should look into collectively and see how we go out of it. Women are definitely doing very well. We have a lot of women who are chairman of many banks. We also have Folorunsho Alakija, who is doing very well in business. All these men are doing well because the level playing ground is the playing ground is level and they compete fairly. That's why they are able to achieve that. So let's look at women in leadership position in politics, political leadership position. Women in political leadership position, that is where our problem lies. Because decisions are being made by these people in parliament, and those decisions do not favor women because we don't have enough voices for women there. We have a table there where we show the disparate situation of women participation in politics. We have started this table from this very democracy we are running now from 1999. We found out that number of available seats we have there as president, just one, and no woman there at all. So women that are tempted, we have Sarah Jubri that are tempted to vie for presidency. Unfortunately, at the primary election, Sarah got only one vote, which is her own vote. And we have thousands of women in that field, which implies that women are not even helping matter for themselves. The position of vice president is one available seat, and there is no woman at all. None has even attempted before. In the Senate, where we have 109 senators, in 1999, we have just 3 women. In 2003, we have 4. 2007, we have 8. 2011, we dropped 1 again and have 7. 2013, we have 7. And 2019, we just have 7 out of 109 senators. And this percentage, we have the highest percentage of female in Senate is 8, which is about 7%. You can see that the percentage is too low for the voices of women to be heard in the Senate. Let's look at the House of Representatives. We have 360 seats. In 2019, we have 1999, we have 12. In 2003, we have 21. 2007, we have 27. 2011, we have 26. 2015, it came down to 17. And right now, we're having 20. And this gives us 7.5% of women participation in the parliament of the House of Reps. Then for the governorship position, we have never had any woman governor in Nigeria, except the incidental governor of Anambra State. That one is an incidental governor because she was not elected as a governor. For the deputy governor, we have 36 available seats. In 1919, we have 1. 2003, we have 3. 2007, we have 6 women. 2011, we have 1. 2015, we have 5. And 2019, we have 4. And this is just, the percentage is too minor. Then we have the women in the State House of Assembly. Total number of seats available is 990. In 1999, we have only 12 women all over the country. 2003, we have 38 women. 2007, we have 54 women. 2011, we have 63 women. 2015, we have 46 women. And 2019, we have 40 women out of 990 seats. So by this, we just have 6.8% total women that have been in the House of Parliament since the beginning of the Republic. We have 6.8%. So this is quite alarming and something that should be looked into, because the National Assembly is where decisions are taken, decisions that affect both women and children, decisions that affect everybody. And we all know that women are very good in making good decisions, even in the homes. In the home where women contribute in decision making, it's quite different from the home where women is subordinated. So these are values and virtues that God imbibed on women. So you can see the slide there, women in political leadership position. See the kind of situation, chaotic situation where we have in politics in Nigeria. Looking at that picture, I don't know how many women can be able to climb that vehicle and jump down from it. That is the way Nigerian politics is. Very chaotic, full of thuggery, full of violence. So these are things that scare women. from participating. So despite the efforts made to enhance women participation, political participation, much has not been achieved. A lot needs to be achieved. And when we are talking about equal participation, these are things that should be looked into. Then what are those challenges of women in leadership position? What are those challenges? I start by taking as women as newcomers. You know, women coming to the leadership position are they're just newcomers. Because in the olden days, our mothers, our grandmothers will tell us, no, you don't talk where men are talking. So we have existing documentations like the religious books, folk tales, that has customized set of beliefs about male supremacy and female subjugation. This makes women feel that going to the decision-making level is like going to a man's world. So you see, by so doing, but of recent, women are now picking up. In those days, when you come to school, women do not study engineering, they do not study medicine. We have home economics for women, teaching. These are what women were meant to know and what they are supposed to do. But of recent, there has been improvement on what women can do. Then the next challenge is lack of proper orientation. Most women do not understand the basic concepts in leadership, especially in political leadership. You know, women that are so much interested in fashion, in hairstyle, music, that most of them, all those concepts, they're not even interested and they don't even know it. Most of them don't know what the Constitution says. They don't know what the structure of political parties is like. They don't know what the INEC function is. Because if all of us know that we should insist that women should contribute on who becomes the INEC chairman, this should be shown to the public where women also should participate to say, yes, we can make an input. Another challenge we have is a house divided against itself, which we call intragender animosity. This is where we find women fighting themselves, role conflicts among women themselves, caused by petty jealousy and meanness. So women tend to see their fellow successful women as promiscuous. It's the women that we discuss their fellow successful women. She's doing this, she's doing that. So we are saying that when we stop doing that, we should support each other. Women should support each other to leadership position. Again, to build confidence in their fellow women, the women in leadership position should make themselves approachable to other women. Most times we find the women up there and they don't want any other woman to be around them, to grow, to draw other women up the ladder. So these are, I say, two parts of the coin. So women should support each other, and women up there should also give their fellow women confidence by being approachable. Another challenge is monetizing politics. In Nigeria, politics is monetized, and the kind of money that is used in politics, women do not have it. And the banks and the financial institutions are not ready to give women the loan for such things. Moreover, women are not good risk takers because the men will take that risk, invest all their property, invest everything they have in politics, hoping to recoup it. Why is that the woman cannot recoup it? Because she has to be straightforward. Women, rarely do you see women that embezzle money in government. So because of that, they are not good risk takers, and there are also denial of loan by most financial institutions. So the women find it difficult to match the money politics we are doing in this country. Then we look at another challenge, which is violence and thuggery in politics. I show you the picture there. Thuggery, violence, everywhere in politics. So how can a woman cope? Women find it difficult to cope in such violence because women are peacemakers. They don't like violence. They like peace everywhere. So until all these are removed in the political arena, in leadership sphere, then women can be able to participate actively. Then also we have the social cultural barriers. There are some social cultural barriers that inhibit women from attaining leadership. You know, when we talk about political parties, they mostly have their meetings in places that women will not want to attend, and the times that women should be inside the home. All these are cultural barriers. Political meetings should be done in an open place and done in the daytime so that women can be part of it. Then we also have biased female personality and stereotype. You know, women from birth are assigned low personality. You know, women from birth, you know, you come to the home, the mother is training the girls and telling the boys to go and play football. He's the king of the house. Even from birth, according to Professor Oyene, a baby boy, a girl do not bounce. You see, he had a bouncing baby boy, but you never hear that a girl bounce. Probably the girl do not bounce. And we had the advert of Mama is a boy. It took some NGOs to go and solve that advert because all these are part of the things that give women biased female personality, bias, making them from the low, making them very low quality. Then finally, we have the home front. Women are multi-tasked. They keep the home, keep the workplace, and they try to strike a balance between the home and the home front and the workplace. So the home front is also another challenge. And we advise women in leadership position to try as much as possible to take care of the home front. Because without the home front being in order, you can never concentrate wherever you are. As a good leader, you should carry the family members along so as to get the confidence, support, and blessing of the husband and the family members. That is why we rarely find successful women who still keep their homes. And it's high time NGOs identify them and honor them because it's not easy to keep the home and also keep the leadership position. Then I'm looking at this, I say, equality or equity. Equality or equity. Equality implies the state of being equal. Equality implies the state of being equal, especially in status, rights, or opportunities. Equality is also treating everyone the same and giving everyone access to the same opportunities. While equity is the quality of being fair and impartial. Equity involves trying to understand and give the people what they need to enjoy full, healthy lives, while equality helps to ensure that everyone gets the same thing in order to enjoy full, healthy life. Equity and equality are not equal. Why did I bring this up? Women, we are fighting for equality, but at times, I prefer fighting for equity. Because if we fight for equity, we might find out that women in Nigeria can get more than the 35% affirmative order that we are looking for. Let's go back to the universities. Check around most universities and you see that the best graduating students have been female. So let there be equity. Let women be given what they deserve in the office. Let the political arena be made level so that women can compete favorably as well as the man. Then you can see, just like our country where I was able to win at the World Trade Organization as the TG, most women will also win and surpass the 35% affirmative order. So I believe that equity and equality are not equal. Then we look at women and COVID-19 in Nigeria. The novel COVID-19 was declared a global pandemic by World Health Organization on the 11th of March 2020. And the Federal Republic of Nigeria followed suit. COVID-19 is a crisis with a woman face. Because every crisis, the woman bears the burden of most crises. Talk about the bandits, talk about the insecurity in the country. Women bear the brunt. They're the one that are render homeless. The man can manage anywhere. So women also definitely bears the brunt. According to the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres in his CSW 65 2021 speech, 70% of frontline workers all over the world are women. This is said by the United Nations Secretary, and he has the data. And services are delivered by women while decisions are made by the men. Even in Nigeria during the Ebola time, it was women that we lost. The compassionate woman who tried to stop the Ebola from spreading in this country, she lost her life for that. It takes a woman with compassion to do that. Many people lost their jobs due to COVID-19, and women being at the minority at the workplace are more likely to lose their jobs more than men. During the lockdown and all those periods, women organizations were filling gaps in COVID-19 than men organizations. Then we have some shortcomings from the lockdown. Number of girls raped and number of women involved in domestic violence rose geometrically during the lockdown, mostly due to the frustration of their spouse. So most women were domestically violated. And when we look at the Scandinavian countries, in the Northern Europe, like Denmark, Norway, Finland, all these countries are countries that are with women as their leader. They suffered less death all through the pandemic. We can check them out because women are good managers. They were able to manage the country so well that they suffered less death. In Nigeria, minimal representation and involvement of women in decision-making brings about minimal intervention for women. There was minimal intervention for women because where the decision is being taken, much women are not there. But besides that, we have some good side of COVID. Just like Her Excellency mentioned, it was not all woes. There are still some positive fallout of COVID. This issue that women organization has been talking about long ago, the issue of working from home for women, especially mothers, became the order of the day, which gave the women opportunity to contribute their best in the workplace and confidently take care of their home front. So most offices brought about flexible working hours, and this has been advocated for long ago for working women. Most businesses spring up. Most young girls started online businesses, and most women now become computer literate to be able to class. The way forward. There is need to move from fixing women to fixing the system. Because women have been crying for, let the women be given the opportunity, let the women have their place. But I believe that once the system is fixed, everything will fall in line. So let the system be fixed in Nigeria. There will be corrupt, free working environment, corrupt, free political environment. then the women will now fall in place. There is need to have inclusive decision at all levels, from the family to the government. You know, the family is a unit of everything we have. And what grows in the family translates in the society. So in most families, the man gives authority and is obeyed. There is no inclusive decision making. So we think that if this is done, then we talk about the UN agenda for mainstreaming. This should be vigorously pursued. Level playing ground in politics should be encouraged. Money politics should be discouraged. Female NGOs should organize forums where women are properly oriented. There should be capacity building for women. All cultural values and harmful traditional practices that militate against women participation in decision making should be stopped through legislation and advocacy. WOGI is doing that, and I hope they should intensify their efforts on that. Then my question is, where are the godmothers? Because we used to hear godfathers, where are the godmothers? We need godmothers, women mentoring women. The younger women should also avail themselves for mentorship. In Africa, Rwanda is now a global leader in women representation in parliament. And South Africa has made a remarkable progress towards gender parity. Nigeria will follow suit. I am optimistic that we can. Can't we? I'm sure we can. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Nkiru Ifekwem. She has really thrown more light. I mean, this is a well-researched topic that she has done. She's actually buttressed a whole lot of points here. I mean, I've actually learned a whole lot. Talking about a bouncing baby boy. Okay, everybody should be saying a bouncing baby girl. I mean, we can all start from the cradle and start, attributing that priority to the male folk. But I like the fact that you pointed out an equal playing ground for a man and a woman. We're not fighting for equality right now, like you said. We're fighting for equity, our representative. Let women come out. Let us have a voice, to be able to speak out and be well represented. Now, talking about politics, like you mentioned, we had a whole lot of challenges that you pointed out there. Okay, so that's how I'm going to be navigating to the next speaker, Honorable Ambassador Chibuzo Osigwe. She is the executive assistant to the Anambra State Governor on community liaison. She is the founder and CEO of Melgeston Youth Empowerment Initiative. It's an NGO, showing concern towards the underprivileged orphans and physically challenged people of the society. Ambassador Chibuzo is a public relations consultant and also a motivational speaker. So, Honorable, we want you to really, Dr. Ifekwem has said a lot of things about women in politics, and I know that, you're there. So let us even throw more light on what is actually going on there. Why are women not being properly represented, and why are they not, these challenges you mentioned, let's hear from you, Madam Honorable, please.
Don't lose your color. What fell?
We can hear you. Can we hear you, madam? Please, could you unmute? We can't hear you.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Can everyone else mute?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, okay, you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, Honorable.
Okay. I had to give it up to you, Dr. Ifekwem. You really did a marvelous work there. Fantastic. So taking from you, we don't need to elaborate more on the leadership now because you've talked about it. we all know is motivating people to achieve a common goal. And then we also know now that leadership is a leader is a person who influences, who inspires, who motivates, who encourages others to think better, act better, and then become better. Okay? And then when we talk about that, we also know that leadership is not gender specific. When we talk about not being gender specific, it means that a man and a woman has equal playing ground when it comes to leadership. And then talking about that, we know that women's style of leadership is different. We know that women are charismatic. We know that they're transformational. We know that they're inspirational. We know that they're motivational. We know that they're go-getters. We know that they're decision-making, perfect decision makers. We know that they're home builders. We know that their managerial skills are super. Second to none. We also know that they have authentic communication. We also know that women whatever they believe in, they make it work. So now, knowing that women are this exceptional, where are they? Why are they not in politics? Why are they not captains of industries? Why are they not achieving what we are supposed to achieve? Why are we having this kind of 1%, 2%, 3%? It's not normal. Now that brings us to the glass ceiling. The key speaker mentioned it, but we need to do an in-depth analysis on glass ceiling. It was 1978, 42 years ago, that Marilyn Monroe coined that metaphor. And it's still till today, we are still under it. Glass ceiling is an unacknowledged and an invisible barrier to success. It has hindered women. It has stopped them from achieving. It has made them not to be who they're supposed to be. You may not feel it. You may not touch it. You may not see it, but it exists. And that has been what has held our national development. It has stopped our economy because women are not where they're supposed to be. Because that exactly is who they are. And making magic is the job of women. And they have been deprived. They have been derailed. They have been stopped because of what we call glass ceiling. Yes, a lot of people are struggling. This stereotype has been, okay, it's eased down a bit. But in Nigeria, the glass ceiling is not shattered. It's chipped. It's caged. We are not where we're supposed to be. The enabling ground is not perfect at all. When we talk about this glass ceiling, people may not even know when it's affecting them. How do you know? When you are in an office and you are good and you are effective and you are efficient and you deliver and you are due for promotion, and all of a sudden they will assign you to train an incoming, a lower manager to become a manager on top of you, my dear, glass ceiling is playing in that place. When you deserve a promotion and you've worked hard and you deserve it and you've done what you're supposed to do and they know that you are able and capable, and then promotion will go to a male counterpart of yours citing breadwinner because you're meant to be in the kitchen. So you don't need money. You don't deserve it. They have it. These are glass ceiling playing out. You will see when it's supposed to be an out-of-station work, that is supposed to motivate you, that is supposed to give you powerful network connection, that is supposed to increase your allowances. No, you'll be excommunicated. You'll be excused. Another person will be put in your place, even when you are sitting on a table where you're due for the job. Somebody else will go because you're a family woman. You don't need money. And then it has been going on like that. This isolation, this exclusion, this thing is not just, it doesn't just end on work table. These have destroyed a lot of women indirectly. People don't know that it stops them from lower income. It keeps them at just an average. You can't aspire. You can't climb. You can't become anything you want. Meanwhile, you overwork more than when a man is doing 1, you're doing 10 over for you to prove yourself. And after everything, a man takes the glory because you are not meant to be. You are not meant to be. You're a woman. Being a woman means that you need to sit when others climb. And then, in that same thing, low income is one. Your psyche. It gives a lot of people mental and even physical damage. A lot of women have had anger. They live in anger because the condition, the office environment is so unconducive. They can't even do anything. They can't earn, they can't speak, they can't scream, they are intimidated. People then call, because it's not seen, that there is a subtle discrimination that is playing out on everywhere. Now, when you're so stressed, it destroys your immune. It destroys your digestive system. It destroys your cardiovascular system. And then this thing comes down to depression. It comes down, most people have mental fat because this thing they call glass ceiling, they don't know that the implications are way beyond what they call office politics. It's beyond that. We are human and we do a whole lot. Women have integrated view for accommodating both home and office. This is a gift God gave women. It's not about citing this as an example because women can multitask. Women can do all these things. It's a gift, it's a grace. And they do that, so we can't be limited because of this is a gift God has given them from above. Okay, and then talking about that and looking at it like that, in theory, any qualified person can rise and become anything and enjoy the perk of the job. But it is not happening here. And for those who has braced it, those who have achieved it, those captain of industries, those people in politics, we have not sat to ask, what are they going through there? When you shatter the glass ceiling, you will meet what we call glass cliff. The glass cliff is simply those who are on top already, but they are walking on edge of gunpowder. They are sitting on edge of gunpowder. They are walking on edge. They can't be free because they are vampires waiting to pull them down. All they want is for them to fail and not to succeed. And when they are like that, they can't reason well. They watch their back 24 hours, and we've not asked, how is their mental health in? We look at them in the TV, we see them give speech, we see them on parole, we see them as deputy governor, but we have not asked. The struggle is the same. They're still going through the same glass cliff because that is how they have made it. Men has held power and positions for so long and it has become theirs. And women are not helping matter issue, but we are talking about what has stopped them from being who they're supposed to be, because there's a lot of women with passion, some with vision, some with great mission, some on the move, but yet they get frustrated because of things like this. And then what has changed? What has changed really? Yes, good news. A lot of women are out there. A lot of women are doing a whole lot. A lot of people are damning the consequences. A lot of women are trying to show that whatever it is that we can. I love that quote, what a man can do, a woman can do better. But men misunderstood it. Women are not talking about equality on taking men rights. No. Women are talking about the equity that the key speaker talked about. We are intelligent. We are innovative. We are creative. We are good. We want to do what we're supposed to do because this is what we're created to do. We can play it. We can do it. And we deliver more and better, more than you guys. Give us the chance. This is what we are. So they are not fighting to take over the job of men and to make men come down. No. Women know who they are. They know their position, but in playing ground, in intelligence, God gave it equal. And it's not a gender-specific thing. That's what leadership is all about. So now, we may look at it as in, oh, if you're facing it, if you're in a workplace where you're facing it, facing the glass ceiling, my advice, my thought to you is, hold on. Do not drop. Don't advance somewhere else. Keep your feet down. You know who you are. Your inherent abilities are deposited from above and not from man. You are God-made and not man-made. Wherever you are and you're facing this thing, it is not your fault. It's the fault of the system. It's the fault of the system. They already have a cultural and traditional belief concerning we women. But I need you to know that when you give your best in what you're doing and hold your feet down, you're going to be what you're supposed to be. And that is just the thing. And we can break it. We can break it. The keynote speaker have given us so many examples how it can be broken. We will do that by, first of all, believing in ourselves, using our SWOT analysis, our strengths, our weaknesses, the opportunity and the threat are there. We will work on it. And then she mentioned something again about we loving ourselves. If we don't, charity begins at what they say. We need to come down, love ourselves, and then be able to face people who don't love us. And she mentioned Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. And I want to say something. I am not talking about Ngozi per se, but it struck me when she said if she had contested the election in Nigeria, would she have won? No, because the same glass ceiling would have affected her. The same political violence would have scared her off. The same money that is meant to be injected into the place that women don't have would have still been a barrier. Yes, but today, from where she is, she broke the record. What does her winning mean for us? It means strong focus. It means that there is hope. It means that we must intensify our strength. It means that we must keep, that we won't drop the equity and equality fight because we're getting somewhere. It means that we can be heard. It means that whatever happens, when you're good at what you do, every other forces will give way for you. So what do we need to do for ourselves? We need to build ourselves and be the best we can be. Because when you're the best, even your enemies will align and agree that you're the best. So no intimidation will push you off. Don't get fear. Don't get scared that, oh, what would they do to me? It's your intelligence that is speaking. You're going to get what you want on merit and not because somebody else is going to do you a favor. We are not reading. It's before women, but women now have taken over academically, entrepreneurship, in administration, in everywhere. They have taken over, but it's still that same glass ceiling. That is what reason why they have not become, but we're getting there and we will be there. Ngozi is an academia, a gender scholar, and a developed economist. Yes, you've got what it takes, but where she is, it was not easy. It wasn't easy when she was dropping the policies, when she was introducing the treasury bill in Nigeria. It wasn't easy when she was making state government to start publishing their account. It was not easy when she went for the debt, that she canceled $18 million for Nigeria. It was not easy. Only God knew what she faced. But what kept her, what made her a success today? Because she held on, because her focus was right, because she's committed, she's determined, and she's dedicated to what? And that is why I'm telling every woman, wherever you are, these principles had to guide you. It had to follow you. It had to make a way for you. You had to live it. You had to speak it. You had to drink it and dream it, because that is the way forward. That is what we need to do. Now, talking about this, that there's hope. There's good news. We had to do this because we're already in it. We will never stop, and we're not going to stop. The glass ceilings has been existing. Gordon wrote it 42 years ago, but we thank God that we're here now. And of course, when the next discussant is coming, Madam Toro is going to make you see the challenges and make you see the way forward of it, because it's not a monopoly. Everybody has an equal playing ground, and we're living by example. So I, Honorable Ambassador Chibuzo Sigwe, I am going to drop here, because I know that the next speaker is speaking from where I am. For you people to understand that the glass ceiling is existing, it's not your fault. It's been there and has been there. So women in politics, she mentioned it. It's crazy. You can't believe it. Even at this present moment, what should we be talking about? 7 senators out of 109. It's a far cry. How can we be talking about a House of Representatives, 12 female representatives out of 360? What are we saying? How can we say that there's nobody qualified to be a governor in this state? It's incredible. How can we say that local government chairmen, that we are not good? Meanwhile, all these qualities that rolled out are personified. That we are embodied is in us. We give it everywhere. Then we do the job. Like she mentioned, the men head us. No, we want to be the head to show them that, yes, we are not head because we want to ruffle. We are head because we deserve it. We merit it. It is us. That because every single thing that is about the intelligence is life. And it's life, and that is us. We create life, we give birth to life, each and every one of them. So we are life creators, we are life givers, and we give life to everywhere we are. And that's what women are known for. And I want every woman to look at yourself and call yourself, I'm the best. Look how you have inherent abilities deposited in you that are untapped. Now you need to look inward and see those potentials there and bring it out. You can be, if you don't start from where you are small, you cannot climb. Get up, go to the counselor, take a form. Damn yourself, take a form and say, I can. Be there, because if everybody start doing it in the right way, then we will get to where we're going to. But if we shy off, then the story will remain. Even 100 years after, it's going to remain. You need to dare the consequences. You need to look at it and say, one, we got the majority. The Lord who has made us this pattern and created this, even in our constitution, in 1999 Nigerian constitution, section 17, he gave equal right to freedom to everybody, to equality. Yes, it is there. There's legal protection to us, to back us, to help us. But is it real? No. Is it working? No. And we are edging it because of all those things the key speaker has mentioned. We are edging it with our jealousy, with our envy, with our backbiting. How can a female president that has sisters and brothers, that has cousins, that has family, that belong to associations, have only one vote, her lone vote? That is not nice. That is not nice. So we need to look inside ourselves and make a change. Begin a change that, yes, we'll come together, we'll be united in the common force and do this thing and do it well. And I know the future is going to be bright and so bright for us. Thank you so much. God bless everyone.
Wow, thank you so much, Honorable Ambassador Chibuzo Osigwe. You have really thrown more light on women holding on. I like the fact that you said in the face of adversity, every woman should keeping on. We should hold on and keep working hard and representing ourselves and understanding that whatever is deposited in us is for us to use to our own advantage. Thank you so much, Honorable Ambassador. And then we'll move to the next speaker, Mrs. Toro Oladapo. She is a high-flying journalist, studied English for her first degree and mass communications at master's level, all in the University of Lagos. She joined the news agency of Nigeria and later became the media aide to the one-time deputy governor of Lagos State. He was director of public affairs, Lagos State, and former national president, National Association of Women Journalists, former national coordinator, Women in Nigeria, WIN. Mrs. Oladapo, is currently customary court member in Lagos State. Welcome on board, madam, as we listen to you and your opinion on women in leadership. Thank you, madam.
You're welcome, madam. You are welcome.
We can hear you, ma'am. Okay, ma, can you kindly unmute?
Yes, I've done that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. I was congratulating Nigerian women for year 2021 International Women's Day. And as we all know, it's the day set aside to appreciate the contributions that women make into societal development. I want to congratulate all of you. Let me also use this opportunity to appreciate the well-researched and beautifully presented paper by Dr. Ifekwem. I also appreciate the passion put in by our ambassador, so passionate about her view about where women should be. Nigerian women are proud of you. I have listened to the paper and I'm going to take my contribution to this paper from the challenges confronting women in leadership position. Challenges confronting women in leadership position. It ranges from general and specifics. The lead speaker has mentioned the various areas where women have excelled well in leadership positions, but she has not scored us well in political participation, which all of us agree with. If we look at the role that women have played in economic and academic, like she said, we know that Nigerian women have fared well and they are not giving up. We have had vice chancellors, as she rightly put it. We have professors, we have women. There's no glass ceiling restricting them in rising to leadership position. But when we look at political participation, then we have to continue to query, where are we, where we are? She has given statistics, and it is unfortunate that we keep rotating around the same axis. Many of us have been involved in NGO activities for several decades, and yet we have not gone beyond the same level where we are. And we need to ask ourselves, why are we where we are? This has been a recurring question that women are asking. Generations of women have gone through these different stages, and yet in political leadership, Nigerian women are still suffering. When I said that challenges confronting women in leadership position ranges from general to specifics, we look at women in the economy. And the general challenges we have are generally that of discrimination, gender discrimination, and we have a patriarchal system where men and women have been raised in such a way that women are seen and not heard. We have instances where women are supposed to take backstage when it comes to boardroom politics. One thing I was able to take from the presentation of Dr. Ifekwem is the fact that, yes, we need to know where we are, except when you know where you are, you may not be able to navigate and recommend the way forward. And like the Excellency said earlier, that once you have been able to diagnose your problem and you know your problem, then it will be easy for you to channel a way forward or channel way forward. We have to understand the fact that in this part of the world, it's a patriarchal system. I used to tell people that I joined Women NGO when I had sympathy for my mother, who is late now. She died at 85. I remember growing up, my mom told me something, that she had a younger brother and she was made to drop out of school when she was in primary school for a younger brother who went on to read up to technical education. Immediately after the brother completed his technical education, he died at the age of 20-something. I didn't even meet him. My mom lived till 85 years old. So many women of that period suffered that deprivation. And that is why we are where we have a system where we have raised both men and women to see women as submissive, as secondary in nature. And so when a woman emerges as a leader, you have emerged under the system where it is not a la carte. You have challenges that you have to fight with to excel as a leader. So when we look at women in political leadership, it is another ball game, which I will try to say one or two things about the challenges. If we look at the women in corporate world, for instance, they have emerged from a system that is male-dominated. They are going to have challenges confronting men at the boardroom politics. These are men who have been raised to see you as secondary. These are men who have been raised to see you as to be seen and not to be heard. These are the men who do not believe that you can play game. So how does a woman exist in leadership position? A woman who has that few representation of fellow women in boardroom politics, where she has emerged as a leader, would definitely have challenges of coping and sustaining that position of a leader. So we look at that, we see that the problem that women face in corporate world is different from, though we have some general problem, which are the discrimination, which are stereotypes that we continue to face, either subtly and even in some areas where you have forceful way of facing discrimination. We have sexual abuse. We have women and men too who view you as secondary. Even fellow women are not supporting, so they have not made your job easier. It has been said that when you train a woman, you train the world. It has also been said that children exhibit the intelligence of their mothers. If that is so, if women have been good homemakers, if women nurture life, if women are full of milk of human kindness, if women procreate, how come we're still lagging behind in area of leadership? And that put to question you and I at this forum today of what we need to do to ensure that at least we move forward from the rhetorics. I see what we have been saying over the years as rhetorics. We have not been able to put in place effective means of achieving that critical mass of leaders. Yes, we have our children go to school, they excel in their academic performance, but yet, in spite of that, their arising to top position is still limited. I will give an example. When I was the national president of Nigerian Women Journalists, I discovered that correspondents are often sent out even during pregnancy to go cover late night assignment. I discovered that even women, lactating mothers are sent out, and which is not good enough for their rising to the top at media level. So what did I do? I had to engage our editors. Don't forget, it is a male-dominated, even till today, the media world is still male-dominated. And so you have the editors who have been conscientized to see that, yes, in journalism world is a free world, and that's why you would greet yourself, there are no women in journalism practice. Gentlemen of the press. I try to change that no, it can't be I'm a woman, it can't be gentlemen of the press. I am raised specially, and I need to bring my own natural attributes to bear in achieving success. When you look at the way the challenges are structured, we have to understand the fact that first thing we have to do is to start from raising our boy children. Till today, despite the fact that, yes, women are achieving a lot in leadership position, we still need to do a lot in trying to conscientize our boys to see that it is equal opportunity. Give women the chance. It's not going to be a la carte. It's not going to be a la carte. It has also been proven and said that women exhibit double what the men give to excel in leadership position. Why is this so? Because women cannot continue to play ball the way men do it. I look at Okonjo-Iweala, which the Glee speaker gave example, and I'm going to use Sarah Jubril, the two people that have been brought up. If we look at what happened during Sarah Jubril, during the primary of the political party she belonged to, the lead speaker said, yes, she won one vote, meaning she was the only one. Hello? Hello?
Okay, please kindly unmute. Okay.
Because this thing has happened before.
Hello?
Please go ahead now. We are all being muted.
Thank you. I was looking at the example given by the lead speaker with regards to Sarah Jubril, that when Sarah Jubril ventured to contest the presidency of this country, during the party primary, she had only one vote. It is difficult to believe that there are no members of the political party who believe that Sarah Jubril, because Sarah Jubril is a tested hand, she has been with women NGOs for years before she ventured into politics. Are we saying that there are no men and women who believe in Sarah Jubril? No, there has been conspiracy theory that Sarah Jubril traded her vote for political appointment, for personal gain. That is, she knew she was not going to make it, but she has already had an arrangement with the political party that they would give her appointment. And that was why those people who participated during the primary decided not to vote for Sarah. That is not the approach that women are going to take when we find ourselves in leadership position. We have to do something differently. We cannot do it the way the men have been doing it. We have to distinguish ourselves. Hello? Hello?
Sorry, madam. Go ahead. We've muted.
Okay. I don't know why this is fluctuating. I was talking about Sarah Jubril and the conspiracy theory that the one vote she got is not because she wasn't competent. It's not because that people did not believe in her. It was because she did it the way Nigerian politics has been played. She has already ceded her position for pecuniary gain. She was not thinking of the larger society and the implication of that one vote on Nigerian women. She had one vote. It is a minus to Nigerian women. We were pained because at that period, we were seeing that we have moved 100 years forward and then we are moving backward again. How can somebody of Sarah Jubril's status have one vote during primary? They have played dirty politics, which Nigerian women we have to overcome in order to get to political leadership. I said that in boardroom politics, in corporate world, women, yes, there's no glass ceiling per se to limit their rising to leadership position. But for them to sustain their position at that leadership position, they have to do a lot to do. We have to be 21st century women. Self-development is key because you need double the energy that men have put to remain afloat in leadership position. In corporate world, you must serve as mentor. You must do things differently. You must prove to the men that you have pedigree. You must prove to the men that, yes, you can give them a run for their money. And this can only come if you have self-development. If you believe in yourself, if you help those around you to see you as a hard-working individual, you have to give more. If we look at political leadership, some of those things, there are so many issues. Some of us have delved into politics and then they have run back. It's the same story we have been saying for decades. One, we know that there's lack of internal democracy in political parties in Nigeria. And what are the women in political parties? What are they doing to ensure that we have good representation? We have women leaders. There was a time we were campaigning against women taking Ashwebi during rallies and then they are dancing after the men. What have we used our numerical strength in political space to achieve? How have we used that to help our women? What about the few women who have ventured into leadership position in politics? How have they helped the other women? In Lagos State, for instance, Lagos State has produced 6 deputy governors. Up till now, we have not had a governor in Lagos State, and yet we have had 6 deputy governors. I think we have to look at the experiences that work elsewhere, and then we have to adopt. We have to see how women can use their own natural attributes to ensure internal democracy in political parties. Oftentimes, contestants and aspirants emerge through different, they are selected, of course, they are not even elected in political parties. You have instances where it has to be godfatherism. You have to man, no man. They are children of political dynasties. Those are the people that you see as emerging as contestants from political party or aspirant, which is not good enough. I think it is high time for women who are in politics to design means of how they are going to start identifying. Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
We can, yes, I hear you. Can you hear me, please? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Go ahead, madam. We can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you. I was looking at political party and how aspirants are selected and not elected. And that's why I said lack of internal democracy has kept Nigerian women at that low ebb in political leadership. Up to now, we have not had enough of our women to represent us as what is the role of a woman leader? What is the strength of our numerical strength? How far have we used our numerical strength to achieve a kind of equilibrium for women in politics? How come we have not used this to translate into, better slots for women? Those are some of the challenges that are daily confronting us. The lead speaker talked about inadequate funding to support women in politics. And I think she mentioned something about going to financial institutions to raise money. This will not be, because there's no remuneration. The return of investing in women for politics is poor. The fear that the return will be poor is there. And so financial houses who are out to make profit will not easily give money for women to go into politics. Don't forget also that the remuneration that politics in Nigeria attract has made it so much that politics in Nigeria has become a profession. In a society where the poverty is highly established, where people have no job, where there's no job, where graduates are turned out of schools every year, and yet there's no place to accommodate them. People are running into political parties. And so it is a do or die to the men, because that is where they can make quick money. They can't survive elsewhere other than in politics. How do you explain that even ordinary councillor, within 2 months of being in position, start to parade wealth around the people in the area without doing much? What is happening to the constituency allowances that have been given to them? How has it been utilized? So when we're looking at political leadership, we must identify the problem that are confronting women. We must be able to be specific. And in drawing the way forward, it has to come from immediate, long-term and medium-term strategies. Our strategies have not been effective. Of course, we have had instances where we say women are against themselves. Women have not supported themselves well. The lead speaker spoke about where are godmothers. Don't we have wealthy women in this country? How come they are not putting their money to sponsor women politicians as the men are doing? The men see it as investment. Even though we are going to promise that we are going to deliver, and we are going to use our natural attributes, the one we have used in our various homes, the one we have used to gain acceptability, to see that we do things rightly. We cannot do it the way the men are doing it. Sarah Jubril did it the way the men are doing it, and it is casting aspersion on our rising politically. Because every time they make jest of it, men make jest of it. When you ventured into political, when you women, when one of you contested for for presidency of this country, she had 1 vote. So it cast aspersion on all our aspiration to be relevant in politics. And until we know that, yes, this is the way politics are practiced in Nigeria, we are not going that route. We are going to do things differently. It's going to be laborious. We are going to dissipate energy. But I believe that those energy we have used in raising successful homes, those energies we have used in achieving excellence with raising our children, are those things we're also going to plow back into ensuring that we succeed in political space. The way and manner in which aspirants are emerged in political space, we have said it, is either you have Godfather. If you don't have it, you may not be reckoned with. It's either you have money, which is what the men are investing. Men invest in themselves, and all that women will not do. We don't even have the money anyway. Women have been relegated to the past. When did we get to that level? Look at those men who are contesting political positions. They have made money through the appointment. And I think one of the strategies we have to use is to advocate for more women to be given appointment, either as commissioners, either as special advisors, whatever. Look at the example of Tanzania that we saw 2 days ago. We have a woman becoming the first female vice president in Tanzania. She was the vice president to the to the president who passed on less than a week ago. We can also advocate for that in Nigeria. Let us advocate for twinning, whereby every governorship aspirant must take a woman as deputy. The president too. Let's begin from that. If women have been so positioned through appointment, I think we can now rally around them to move up the ladder. I also always recommend that it is not every woman that can be in leadership positions. Let us take that. And we have to understand the fact that not all of us can do it. But for those of them who can do it, for those of us who have the pedigree, who have the training, who have the zeal, the passion to lead, and then we have the pedigree, we have distinguished ourselves in our previous positions, let the women rally around them. Let them identify them in the various political parties and let them now be candidates of women. You cannot be yourself because you do not have the money to fight the men. You don't. So what we need is the support, a strong support from women folk at political party level. When you raise your money, tax yourself and stand behind those women that you have been able to identify so that they can represent you. And then those will be the candidate of the women. We have done it before in Nigerian women journalists. When one chairman of a state was leaving, there was no woman that was going to contest for the election that was coming. I then recommended that no, we have to identify among the women those who can also aspire and contest. And we were able to. While the men were waiting for us to support the men folk, we produced a candidate and said, before we support you men, let us have an agreement that this candidate that we have brought out, you men will support. She won unopposed. And it became the talk of the town that NGOs were adopting and using it to advocate for larger society that go the way of Nawaj. Let us see how the women have been able to identify one of their own and then support. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that at political level, for the women who are there, we have to identify strong women who we can vote for, who we can stand for, who we can contribute for and support our candidacy. If we are leaving it as an all-comer thing, we may not get there. Realizing the fact that we have so many inhibitions, we lack the fund, we cannot do it the way the men have the money to do it. Men, we do all sorts, we will not do it. And because we are not likely to go that way, we have to come together. We have to establish a strong network, which we are going to use to support our fellow women. We talk about women backbiting. We talk about jealousy. We have to overcome this because it's not fair enough that we keep rotating on the same axis. Same. They have given statistics of our women in politics. In 109 senators, look at the number of, it hasn't changed. In the House of Representatives, look at our number. It has remained same. What do? They give you tokenism. 2023 is round the corner. The men are already mobilizing. What are we doing? Then we now be shouting, give women a slot. How? What have we done? How have we helped to provide support for ourselves? Have we provided rappers for women in politics? Have we identified those among us who can do it? COVID is there that we have done. It has brought challenges into individuals, society as a whole. Of course, it's a global pandemic. We have to look at how women have been affected, how we can support ourselves to overcome this challenge. It's a major challenge. Stress, tension, depression. The health of women are being questioned because of COVID. So many people have lost their businesses. So many people have lost their loved ones. Even social distancing has caused social dislocation into the way women interact with themselves. But one thing we thank God that the vaccines are being taken across the globe. And then we have to equip ourselves with the fact that we must support one another. We need one another. The godmotherism that the lead speaker has mentioned, we have to reach the wealthy women among us must come up now to say that we are going to support fellow women. This is what the men are doing. They have godfathers. I'm not saying that when you get there, you are going to use the money. Let us understand why we need women. Women, we have it. We are better off. We have everything it takes to be in positions of authority, but we have not supported ourselves well enough to emerge as leaders. We have not given that necessary support to remain afloat when we find ourselves in leadership position. I think we have done enough of rhetorics. We have to look at the challenges and now we address them individually. In corporate world, yes, we are excelling, we are doing well. What we need to do is to develop yourself, self-development. You must be 21st century leader. If you are lacking in one area, because you have to give the men a run for their money, you have to do a lot to ensure that you remain afloat. Personal development is of essence in this regard. You have to develop yourself. You have to spend money to meet that standard and remain in that standard, because the men are looking for your downfall. The men are not likely to give in. You don't even have the women in boardroom to support you. There are very few. So you have to distinguish yourself. You have to prove your mettle. You have to prove that you can give them a run for their money. And the only way you can do this is only when you have what it takes. If you have done personal development, if you believe in yourself, and if you engender that support that you need to do. Exemplary behavior is of essence to women in leadership position. Either be it political, be it in corporate world, exemplary leadership style. I said it before that we cannot do things the way men are doing it. Men don't believe in you. They may never believe in you. They don't believe that, of course, you can give gratification when it comes to that. They don't believe that your husband will not work against their interest. So, but you have to prove to them that you have what it takes to be an effective leader. And you can only give what you have. Let us occupy our space, as been mentioned by Honorable. You can only occupy your space if you know what is expected of you. One of those messages of this year, International Women's Day, is occupy your space. Speak out. Wherever you see discrimination, we have to identify it. The men don't even know that discriminating against you, but you have to prove to them. Some don't know, some know, of course, some deliberately, who want to keep the limited resources to the menfolk, will prevent you from getting there. They don't trust you. They don't believe that you can be there. But thank God for those women who are representing us well. And then let us show more of images of women that are successful at boardroom politics. And those are some of the things we need to. The media involvement is key, because you cannot continue to talk where you are not, where your views are not well articulated. Advocacy, strong network, believe in one another. Believe that women have what it takes and we can support one another to achieve excellence. I believe that when we come from that background, when we put in place medium term, the funds, we may not get it, but I know that even the men respect women who are intelligent, who have the pedigree, who can stand tall. These are not women who are going to party and misbehave. I mentioned exemplary behavior, exemplary leadership style. When the men know that at least this woman is of importance, this is, a standard that you expect is being exhibited. And you can only do this if you have been known at the party level. Raise your voice, let them know you at your community, participate in community development. If you have future in politics, the time to begin is now. Politics, they will not just give it to us, on an easy note, because we know this is where they make their own money. Politics is means of livelihood in Nigeria. Poverty is highly established. Even those who are going to vote for you are expecting you to give money. So what do you now have to offer? What you have to offer, you are not going to get the money. We are not likely to get there, because don't forget, women have been relegated over time. The men have found themselves in positions of economy that they have amassed wealth that they are going to use in politics. Look at the amount they have, on daily basis garnering to go into 2023 election. Do we have that? Who will give the women more that kind of money? So if we don't have that, what then can we offer? What we have to offer is exemplary leadership style. What we have to offer is a strong network. What we have to offer is to build individuals. The late speaker mentioned about fixing the system. Yes, we have to advocate for that. While we're advocating for that, we must also be concerned about producing critical mass of women who we were going to send into leadership space. At all levels, we must show interest in politics. We must show interest in political leadership and interest in leadership as a whole. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that yes, we have challenges. We have those that are limited participation of women in leadership, but we have to overcome it. And the way we can overcome it is to build strong network. The NGOs, yes, over time, it is getting tiring that you keep saying same thing over and over again. I think we recommend, which I said earlier, that let us consider twinning. if Lagos State has produced 6 political deputy governors, if in Tanzania, a woman, they're having the first female president because she was a vice president, that is one of the strategies we can use. Another strategy to use is to get ourselves a political party strong, the women. We must be strong, we must be well bonded. It is not just enough that they're giving us token representation. It has not taken us anywhere. We keep operating in the same political space of less than 10%, less than 15%, less than 30%. Even the affirmative action of Beijing, we did not meet it. We have not met it over 2 decades of Beijing. So where are we? Why are we doing all this? What is missing? I think it is when we look at what is the missing gap, then we can begin to put in place effective strategies that will make us to excel. To occupy, aspire and occupy political leadership or leadership as a whole, and then sustain that political leadership. It is bad enough that there is discrimination. It is bad enough that the society, this is a patriarchal system where both men and women have been raised to see women as of second fiddle. But we need to do more to ensure that, to send the word that yes, we can. Yes, we can. And we need the support of fellow women to identify competence. We're using the word competence now. It matters. Not just anybody. A woman whom we can all vouch for. A woman whom we can all stand behind, that we know that she will represent us well. She will not mess up. Those are the kind of things we need to, strategies we have to start to work up and send these women into political parties, build their confidence. Let them know. We need to tell them, you are not alone. We need to tell them you can do it. Yes, you can. Don't be too hard with yourself. Those are the messages we have to send across to women now, especially in this COVID period where there is general, where people, the situation, the health situation is being threatened because of the socioeconomic crisis that we have faced due to COVID. So we have to build the confidence. We have to provide support for one another. We have to provide the shoulder to lean on. And I also always recommend that we need a network where both the older women and the younger one we meet, so that we can tell them what worked well for us, what they need to do, and then we can also learn from them. I think with that, when we look into that, what's the missing gap that we are seeing in leadership, I think we'll be able to overcome some of it. I want to thank you for having me, and I believe that we may still have to make some recommendations in the way forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Toro. You have actually thrown more light on the issue of leadership. I like the fact that you mentioned self-development, which is very, very key, as well as using our numerical strength to push other women, competent women with exemplary leadership to the forefront. Since we don't have the funds, let's use what we have, which is exemplary leadership. Thank you so much, Madam Toro. And right now we're going to be taking comments, questions from the audience in the house. Please, let's all ensure that we stay muted if we're not talking, so that we can hear ourselves. And then we'll also go to the chat room as well. So let's know if there are people who want to make comments, who want to ask questions from all the speakers, from all we've heard so far. Do we have questions? Let's take questions now. Thank you. Okay, from the chat room, we can see from Adana Chinedu, she's saying that we have made a nice presentation. Thank you so much for that. And then we have other speakers who've made various comments on the chat room there. We have, somebody, Vicky is asking, how many on this platform are ready to pick up the strategy identified? I'm sure a lot of us have all taken note. And then we have, thank you there from Fidel Osigwe, a very powerful speech by Honorable Ambassador Chibuzo Osigwe, proud of you, thank you so much. And then we have Vicky saying that we should raise money for each other suited for such rank. Thank you so much for that comment. And then we have somebody here, Benedicta mentioned the fact that she's a founder of a High Flyers Family Support Initiative, and she said She's asking, saying that women, we are noticing that she said we've come to realize that the issues we have in our society are as a result of dysfunctional families. Today, most women find themselves in job roles that keep them out of their homes for very long hours, not having time for the family and the home. Every day we see and hear a lot of stories, indecent dressing, incest, rape, assassination, kidnapping. Women have a lot to do to address these issues through the roles they play at home. Well, she mentioned the fact, I think the keynote speaker, made some address that in her speech. Then she said, but I think there's a bit of a conflict there. Women are not staying at home. Women are away for long hours. They're not home to raise their children. So I think one of the speakers should actually address that as well. Let's all know if we have other comments or questions from the House. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name is Malachi Iguilo. I am at Bells University of Technology, Ota. I would like to know, should I go ahead, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yes. I would like to know whether you have interest, whether the women have interest in the obvious structural collapse of Nigeria. What are the women, what should be the interest of our women on the fact that Nigeria is collapsing right before us? Government have neglected their primary duties of protection of life and property, and it's obvious that Nigeria is moving on as if it has no intellectual foundation. There's no particular foundation Nigeria is based on, and because of that, government have lost control. I wonder what women, our strong women, are thinking about this. That's my question, please. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that question. Thank you. Do we have other questions so that we can take all the questions at once, and then we'll have the speakers take the answers? Okay, Philomena, we can see your hand raised. Please go ahead, unmute and speak.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Phil Neji. I'm the chairperson of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA Nigerian Lagos State Branch. I want to appreciate Dr. Iyekwem, all the speakers, for all that they have said so far. They spoke so well. In fact, it has been a very thought-provoking speech from all of them. But my only little contribution seems to be that we need to really work towards the campaign theme of Choose to Challenge. And why am I saying this? I'm saying it based on the fact that we have always been identifying the issues with respect to the problem on ground facing women and that women are facing. But we need to walk the talk. We have always been identifying issues. Now is the time for us.
We lost you there, madam. Can you hear us?
The sustainability goes a long way. For instance, we have been able to hear from one of the speakers that we should work on the issue of trying to support women either with the little resources we have. That is one. That one is a rather mind-boggling. We really need to work so hard to empower our women, to enlighten them on the need for us to wake up, because we are the ones to change the narrative. It is not just enough that we are talking or that we are identifying issues. The bottom line is the solution, and sustainable ones for that matter. So I want to still thank the speakers and the organizers of this program. They have done so well. And I wish each and every one of us happy Women's Day once more, because it's a very remarkable global day.
for recognizing and celebrating women and the women of courage that have taken extraordinary steps in the history of their countries and their communities. And I pray we still identify more as people now buckle up the more and then brave it to do something tangible for themselves and for their countries and their communities. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, madam, for that comment. Really appreciate that. Don't worry, we're in the doing part. I'm sure we've taken a thing or two from this lecture. Okay, we have Chinedu also. His hand is raised. Chinedu Vincent, can you go ahead, please?
Yeah, I'm here. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm glad to be here today. My question is for Honorable Ambassador Chibuzo Osigwe. I've known and I've heard much about her NGO. So I've heard about the Miss Motivational Nigeria she always organized. So my question now is, I want to know how she intends to use that platform to groom our young girls. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We heard you. I'm sure. We've taken other questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, go ahead, please.
I want to appreciate all the speakers. They have spoken well. Well, the question now is that, who will take the bull by the horn? Enough of speaking. Action should follow. So I want to know, how are we going to start? And who is ready to take the bull by the horn? Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you so much for your comment and question. Honorable Princess, your hand is raised. Please, can we have your question or comment?
Hello? Yeah, good day, everyone.
Good
you
day.
hearing me?
Go ahead. Yes, we
yeah,
can.
I'd like to thank the organizers of this program. It's really good to talk about women. And my commendation also go to the panelists for the way they treated the presentation. It was well researched and all that. So I'm coming from really a point of being involved. I'm a politician by going by my name, Honorable, and I participated. I'm not just a card-carrying member, but I was at the forefront. If anybody has told me that I'll be, in politics, not to talk of participating, I wouldn't have believed it. But you never can know until you get involved, and that was why I ventured into it. And the experience wasn't really something to talk about. We women, we have a lot to do for ourselves. Because in the political arena, they'll tell you that power is not given, it's taken. It's fighting, you have to fight for it. Nobody is going to give it to you. And talking about population, the women, we have the population. What are we doing with our size? We are even the people giving men the opportunity to rule us. Are we going to continue this way? When are we going to take the bull by the horn to liberate ourselves? It's a $1 million question, and it has, a lot of work has to be done, starting from building a structure. Toro talked extensively about it, mentorship and mentees. Having a common forum where people that have been there will educate the younger ones to tell ourselves the truth. We can afford to lie to ourselves, but we have to tell ourselves the truth. Those of us that have been opportuned to test power, what have we been able to do with it? How do we see the upcoming ones? It's the $1 million questions we have to ask and solve ourselves, not the male folk. We've talked about equality and equity. Everybody has a role to play. Be you a man, be you a woman. We are not wrestling power with them. But we are talking about equity and fairness. In that case, women, the ball lies on our court. How do you see your fellow women? Envy, unnecessary rivalry. You'll be up there, you don't want the other ones to come up. We have to sort out these issues ourselves. Like I told you, I've been there and I know what I experienced, even from my female counterpart that I felt was my strength, that was going to be my source of strength. But now, I've been relegated to the background. We also have to talk about internal democracy. And in that case, we have to be all engaging. Meeting the political parties, sitting them down, the leadership in power, the executive leadership at the party level. How many women are even involved? We have to begin from there. The party structure has to be set right. Are there positions, set aside for women? These are the things we have to be talking about. And without really flogging issues and knowing that, the time is against us. Somebody did ask a question about what the political happenings in Nigeria and throwing it back to strong women in the house. How many of us are even at a point of leadership? Because if you don't have the political power or the political will, there is little or nothing you can do. I think that question should be directed to the male folks that are clogging over power. Thank you. Hello?
Thank you. Yeah, Honorable, we're with you.
Yeah, I'm done for now.
Thank you so much, Honorable Princess. Thank you so much for the comments. So now the speakers are going to be taking the questions they've been asked. So we have Dr. Ifekwem will take some of the questions as well as all the participants who questions have been directed to. Thank you. Please let's have let's kindly mute our phones when the speakers are speaking.
Are you hearing me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
The first question comes from Dr. Malaki. He's asking what the women are doing concerning the structural collapse of Nigeria. Well, these are part of the essence and the problem that arose for this kind of discussion. This conversation is all about how do women get there. We're talking about 12 women out of 109 women in the Senate. What contribution will they make? And the is where decisions are. Decisions are about when they say the service shifts are not working well, and people are, if we have enough women, because women want security, women are so scared of insecurity, they should insist that something right should be done. So until we have women there, we keep talking this way. Until we have the best of our women there. That's another angle of it. Not just having women, but the best of our women being in parliament. So that is what the essence of this program we are doing. So women are equally coming in one way or the other. In discussions like this, we cannot go with arms because we don't have that power for to decide. So until we get women to be part of the decision, because all of us are seeing the way the country is going, nobody is happy about that. I gave an example of the Scandinavian countries where you have women as presidents. You can look at those countries and compare them with the countries that men are leading. So we pray that one day we will get there. One day we will get there. So Philoneji also encourage what we are doing, and we can see on Philoneji, she's already wearing FIDA cloth. FIDA as an Association of Women Lawyers, they already have a cap and a t-shirt where they're saying that you should vote for women. These are the kind of things we want other women groups to be doing, to be walking our talk. Every individual women organizations should start up down to mobilize women, to put this on the burning stand. What should be done so that women will be part of that participation? We should vote for women for being a woman. I bet you the worst woman in politics is better than the best man, because women are, and when you talk about giving fund for the women will first of all use that fund to take care of their home, take care of their family. But those funds men have, they will first of all take care of their concubine, little for their family, this in-law, this and that. So we found out that women manage funds better than men. And a country where, or a place where women are in leadership, you see it is going much better. Then Vincent, Ambassador will take up your question, answer your question. Olubimi Arari was asking who will take the bull by the horn. All of us will. All of us. All of us will. We are not politicians. I'm an academician. I'm not a politician, but I should be interested in what is happening in politics. That is one thing women are doing. Let them be going, let them be doing. It's not my concern. Definitely it concerns us. Politics is who gets what, where, and how. That's what politics is all about. And most women will say, don't bring politics here. We are not talking politics here. Politics shape our lives. When we are partisan politics, yes, I'm not playing partisan politics, but I should know what is happening. I can speak out. Let us speak out. Let us get a forum or fora where we can speak out. At least one day they will hear what you are saying. The same with Princess Patty, who has been part of this. She has smelt the politics, the partisan politics, and she also telling us about her experiences. She also is asking who will take the bull by the horn, talking about internal democracy in political parties. I mean, that is where the problem lies. When we go to political parties, what you have women is they say woman leader. For Christ's sake, women politicians, can we abolish that woman leader? Because I don't know what the woman leader is doing. The woman leader organizes the food, organizes whatever. Then if serious issues are being discussed at the party hierarchy. When PDP was selecting their woman leader, in fact, I was ashamed that a person in the caliber of Kema Chikwe, Dr. Kema Chikwe, was the woman leader. People were congratulating her. For years. What stops Kema Chikwe from being chairman of PDP? She's qualified to be that. So let's women politicians abolish that woman leader so that they will be in the mainstream of political party. That is where decisions are taken. No political party does have the internal democracy. They select. And we have a woman chairman of a party. She'll be able to make sure that woman is selected. So until we get involved, highly involved in what is happening, until then, we'll still be having this problem. And we hope by the time women get to a level percentage and maximum percentage of being involved in parliament, a lot of things will change for this country. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ifekwem, for those answers to the questions. And let's take the answer, the other comment that was made by Chinedu Vincent. Ambassador, please, can you take that answer, please?
Or any other one.
Okay. Chinedu, if you're hearing, and for others, that the Miss Motivational Nigeria, because when they talk about me, there are so many things my NGO does, a whole lot. As if I knew that women need to actually start from somewhere. I created that Miss Motivational. It's not a beauty pageant. I call it brain pageant, where we get all that is a special kind of youth empowerment, where we raise energetic, spontaneous, versatile, rational, intelligent, and confident ladies. We believe that they need to gather, you need to catch them young, and then instill discipline in them, instill self-esteem in them, instill attitudinal change in them, so that they will have a voice, they will know, they will have high morale to be able to say, this is who I am. I believe in it and I started it. I made that pageant free. They don't pay for anything, provided you're ready to become a better person, provided you're ready to know that, yes, that women, that if you're perfect, you will become a woman that knows her worth, will not be looking at a man to give. You will become a pride to yourself, to the society, and you will be a pride to whoever comes in contact with you. This we have been doing for so many years. I won't tell you, the impact has been wonderful. These ladies, if you pick them now, they will analyze for you what it means. And in catching them that young, they have been showing me, even in their respective schools where they are, they speak up for their rights. They know what it takes to come together. Because I am doing it on pro bono, I am camping them free. I am feeding them free. I am giving them the free platform. Now they understand what it means that every woman should come behind each other and do something wonderful. I may not be doing for 1 million persons, but I know that for every life you touch positively, you've touched 50 in disguise. If all those women that have passed through this, who are screaming, who knows what togetherness is, who knows what it means to come and empower another female, if they continue to rise like that, for every life of them, 50 is touched. For every voice in them, another 50. Then we know we're starting somewhere and we're doing something. And this thing, as I started it, I wasn't looking for government support because I know it's not there. But this vision and this mission, I knew that it's going to create a lot of beautiful impact in the life of people, because lack of self-confidence is what has been killing our women. They cannot come out, they shy away where they're supposed to talk, they are not empowered. Educationally, they are lacking. Those ones who are doing it are few, so they keep going. But we can't continue to keep managing the few. We need to calm down, because even when they get the key speakers there, I was just laughing in my mind. I said, look at it, because you need to train. If you can't impart the knowledge down to somebody else, you have just wasted up your knowledge, because it's whatever, just like money in account can't speak for you. It is what you do in the life of other people that's the essence of money. All your knowledge, all your portfolio, all your positions, if there are nobody that you can pass it on so that they can come up, then we've not done anything. So I just want us in our little quarters, let's start creating something that we need to do to know that, yes, if we 100 ladies, if we can be so sure that we gathered 100 ladies and we're able to impact positively in their life, and we know that from there they'll keep going, then we speak to people we may not reach. This other set will speak to people. That's what we need here, because we can't clap with one hand. It's synergy. And how do we do it? We don't need to give money, because it's better for you to raise them young than correcting a damaged adult. It's so difficult to correct and mold a broken adult, but it's so easy to instill this discipline in the ones that are coming up. That is the future we are looking at. That is the hope we have, and that is the way forward for us. That is what Miss Motivational is doing under the Mel Johnson NGO. We've been doing it and we are not stopping. It's not about the scars there. It's not going to be easy, but selflessness is the key, and you will eventually be very happy. It will become an open reward when you see the stars and when you see them occupying positions, and when you see them know that, yes, challenges may come, but it's not what happens to you that determines what you become. It is what you do with it. We are no longer going to cry out of the challenges. I don't believe that challenges can stop me, because I know that they are there. They're part of life. My ability to surmount it, my ability to climb up, my ability to know that, yes, I will tense my actions and put massive action and be able to fulfill that. That's just what it means. And that's what we do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I think we'll have one more. Let's take one more comment and then we can round off, please. Ife Sinachi, your hand is raised, please.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Mrs. Ife Sinachi Ezike. I want to commend the organizers of this program. It's a very welcome development. All the panelists, the keynote address by Dr. Ifekwem and the chairperson of WOGU. Yeah, WOGI, yeah, okay. You've all spoken well. All the comments are most interesting, inspiring, you know. I happen to be a victim of, you know, what is being discussed now, women in leadership. Okay. Having said this, I want to know this glass ceiling, you know, applies to my situation just as I speak. You see your male counterparts, you come to a boardroom, you know, and you have like 20 men, you're the only woman. You are looked upon as a person who shouldn't be heard. Meanwhile, you advance most advanced knowledge of whatever issue is being discussed. And it's like, what the hell are you doing here? The men want to put you in a vulnerable position so that, you know, you'll be taken advantage of. What is demanded of you, your male counterparts are not meant to provide that as well. And you just see yourself, you know, that you are being limited. You look, you don't see that there's a way out for you. And when you cry out, there's little hope that you'll get help. So having said this, my question is this. We have been doing this kind of talks. How do we take it up from here? How do the women in leadership, actual women in leadership, in managerial positions, get support from even the males? When you have found yourself in a situation where, you know, your counterparts have the support of, you know, the more superior ones to limit you, to prevent your career advancement. Sometimes they blackmail you. Sometimes they write fictitious petitions against you, particularly when you are seen to be a goal-getter. They just want to stop you. How do you get help without being seen as a vulnerable woman? Because on a level playing ground, you are a deliverer, you are a performer. And somebody has even told me, it doesn't matter how hardworking you are. It doesn't matter, you know, that you are that you deliver on given assignments. It doesn't matter that you get, you know, awards internationally. You just have to keep quiet. I mean, that will break any woman. It broke me because you just look and you see that there's a ceiling beyond which you can't go. And, you know, what you now resort to is to look for help, maybe from your husband. And your husband, if he was in your shoes, will not look for your help. So that makes the woman remain vulnerable. Can we from here, you know, take the campaign higher, maybe to the National Assembly, okay, for the women in the National Assembly to help the women in the world, in the corporate world? I'm not talking about the politicians, but the women in the corporate world who are doing very well, to support them, to ensure that they get to the peak of their career, because the playing ground has to be made level. The gender equality thing has to be brought to bear in its actual form in the place of work. I don't know if anybody can give me an answer to, you know, what can be done to help the women, you know, in the high places of the corporate world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Ife Ezike. Thank you so much. It is a real life situation. I want Madam Toro to please take on this issue.
Thank you. I think I'll take it from the last speaker who is asking for how we can help women in corporate world to overcome stereotypes and discrimination. I would recommend that we advise women in corporate world to join associations and organizations that are fighting for women development. We have the WIMBYs. There are so many of them. We have the professional women organizations that because in your own limited way, there's nothing much you can do. You can only distinguish yourself in fighting stereotypes and discrimination through hard work. But that is not enough, just like you have rightly mentioned, to take you to break the ceiling that the men are there to use against you at any point in time. So I will recommend that we join organizations where you can table your complaint and they can take it because they have no interest in your organization, but they can help you to advocate and bring and beam searchlight and bring into the fore the challenges that you are going through, and not only you, other women are going through it. I know that there are pressure groups that are fighting for women in corporate world, and then we can table some of our complaints before such ones. They can use this as debate within the organization, and their recommendations now forwarded to a higher level. I think we can approach it from there. Yes, you do a lot. Yes, we have told you that in corporate world, you aspire, your career progression has taken you to leadership position. But to sustain yourself in leadership position is still a challenge because you're an island in the boardroom. You are just one or two of you women at the boardroom where decisions about your sustainability will be discussed. And the only way you can get out of that shackle is to table your complaint to organizations that can lend a voice to the frustration that women are going through in corporate world. I think from that we can take an example and we can take a cue and then amplify it. To the collapsing structure that somebody asked about Nigeria and its collapsing structure, perhaps the question that should bother us as Nigerians generally is, why are we where we are? Perhaps the question, the major issue is because women are not there where decisions are being taken. Women are not there where we can represent the majority of the people, where we can make suggestions as to how to move the country forward. Until we get to that position, we are going to be where we are. It has all been a male-dominated environment. It has all been men taking decisions and deciding on the future of Nigerians. When we have more women at the leadership position, when we have more women in political leadership, where women can make their suggestion and how these things affect the generality of Nigeria, we might have a change of attitude and we might have an improvement, and then we can have a better Nigeria. We are where we are because there's limited participation of women in leadership position. And that is what we are suffering in this country. So the men who dominate this political space will have to also question themselves and see how we can help women to bring their own experience to bear and their own expertise, because women have been said to be successful home builders. We raise the world. And so why can't we also use them to make suggestions how we can have a better society? So let us begin to prick our consciences and see how we can bring more women on board so that we can have better situation. As to who will take the bull by the horn, all of us, like Dr. Ifekwem said, in our own little ways, wherever you find yourself, you have a role to play. Be it religious organizations, create awareness, engage in advocacy. Let them know the relevance of women. Let them know that the role that the women are playing. Bring experiences that has worked elsewhere. Talk about Uganda, Rwanda. Talk about Tanzania. Talk about the women that have excelled. Okonjo Iweala is there. She's representing us well. And so many women are in corporate world in the banking sector. Let us use them as the flagship of the kind of women we want to see. Not the ones that are dancing during rallies and taking Ashwebi every day. They give them 2,000 naira and that's all. As much as I know that poverty is highly entrenched, we can do things in a better way. And I think all of us have a role to play. How do we engage our even youth, the men? How are we engaging them? What platform? My sisters just talked about engaging the young women. What about the young men? Because they are the future leaders. Have we raised them the right way? Have we instilled in them the right path to take? Have we instilled in them how to be a better husbands and how to manage their homes so that they can at least, escalate this to leadership position? Those are the things we have to engage ourselves with. Wherever we find ourselves, we have a role to play. We have to talk for women. We have to represent the women. We have to occupy our space. We have to raise issues about the discrimination, about stereotypes that have militated against women achieving their full potentials. And I think all of us have a role to play in this regard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Toro. Thank you so much for for that comment. And then we'll have our closing remark by Her Excellency Barrister Stella Odife. Her Excellency. We can't hear you, ma'am. Can you unmute?
Can you?
Okay,
Can you
yes,
hear
we
me
can
now?
hear you now. Yes, we can. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, I just said that I can't go back talking about any of the issues that my beautiful and intelligent women on this panel have spoken. But let me just pick up one thing that is very crucial. They repeated this question many times. Many women are asking, why are we where we are? And what is the next step? We're not where we are. We've been moving. But what you are saying is the impact is not much. We started somewhere. We've moved quite a lot. We're able to talk the way we are talking today because we have left our earlier position. But for us to build the future, we have to start talking about building the future. We have to look at the provisions, the laws we have in the system that will help us build the future. I was very happy when the FIDA woman came in. I thought she would tell us or talk about the domestication of the laws that we have ratified from the UN. The Child Rights Act has been ratified by Nigeria since 2003. We still have 6 states that have not domesticated the law. And what the main content of that law is for the women to have the girl child to have equal rights with the male counterpart educationally. And again, the same law provides that a girl who gets pregnant can go back to school after pregnancy, after delivery. This is one aspect of the law that is very crucial because pregnancy was one of the things that stalls the growth of young women. But now you have that in law that you can go back to school, finish at your own pace. Now it is the same law that has given minors 18 years. So any child under 18 is a minor, so that they will not be damaged at the tender age or somebody gives them out for marriage, like is done in most of the northern part of Nigeria. And it is so shameful that up to this moment, 6 states have not ratified that law. That means it's no law. The cultural law is what is still prevailing in those states. So it is, I hope with issues like this, FIDA, that has branches all over Nigeria, should make sure that the northern FIDA women take up these challenges. When we, the southern women, try to push for this change up there, it is seen as a religious conflict. But I believe that their women can do more on that. Again, the violence against women have been ratified, is back in the system again. It has not been well tested. Now, only 15 states out of the 36 states have ratified the law. There is still need for the ratification of that law. It protects us from violence. Violence in all forms. We talked about rape. It's only recently we have, thanks to the COVID pandemic again, you see me saying thanks to COVID, because before this time, no one cared about what was going on about rape or domestic violence. But it has now come to the forefront. And in fact, some judgments have been given, people have been jailed for up to 12 years. So for the future generation who will replace all these women talking today, we need to get those laws in place. And then create the awareness up to the grassroots level. women use every opportunity to tell other women that there is law like this to protect the interests of the girl child or all we the women. Like my sister, Ify Ezike said, Wogi is practically involved on issues like yours. We have handled 3 cases this year. The way we do it, you approach us quietly, you stay out of the scene, we do the job. We've had Senate hearing on a female consultant, a doctor, who was appointed acting to take the main position. Somebody wrote a fictitious letter against her and sent it to the Senate Privilege and Ethics Committee. Now, the Senate did not check whether the letter was fictitious or not. They now raised a query from the Senate, used the query to threaten the PAMSEC, who was now retiring, who appointed this lady to head the place, insinuating, of course, you know, oh, he's the girlfriend. And before you know it, the poor man ran 440 and reversed, more or less reversed what he did. The woman approached us. We now investigated and found out that everything that was written, there was no address, there was no law firm, there's no human being by that name. We confronted the Senate. So what I'm trying to say to sum it up, Wogi is very versatile. There's another situation. The woman she came first interview, second, third, they now stopped interviewing. One woman, she by right was supposed to have taken that position. I will mention the institution. This is OAU. What do you call the OAU? I think Open University. A lady was to head the place. It was her right because she's the next in command. But because she's a woman, they didn't give it to her. Instead, they decided it should be done by interview by merit. And God so kind, the interview was conducted. 3 good times she came first. They stopped the interview and then appointed a male. Wogi got involved. Unfortunately, it was too late. By the time they told us, they had already appointed. That's why we couldn't do much. But I'm just telling you, silently, some of these NGOs, like my sister said, are there. You don't have to be part of that struggle. You just let people talk out, let people know what is going on. That's how we can help those of you who are already at that position. Like Ambassador said, the cliff is very slippery. Just hold on, but find a way of reaching out. Awareness creation is very crucial. Networking among the NGOs, very crucial. The party structure, which you have spoken about, is very important. Campaign financing will have to behave like the enlightened group. There is no way we can go continue election and you think women will make it to the top the way it is now because the money involved is so much. But if parties are made to, money raised will be raised by parties to support candidates. That's when we can all have an equal footing. And then, like you said, party structure, we must be involved in the leadership of every party. And the one that does not give us the positions we want, women should be able to say, enough is enough. We can form our own party, women party, and then collaborate and show, and then take it on. Then the men we know we are very serious, and then they will do a lot of changes. I think with this little changes, we are going to move forward. But it's a gradual process. It's not going to start or end within a year, but I assure everybody, the way we are going, if things are put in place like the laws implemented, things done properly, but in the next 20 years, the women we are going to have will square up perfectly well with the men. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. We have fast spent our time, and so I will just say I appreciate everybody, and I'm so happy to have had these wonderful women in this program, except I didn't have enough time to, or I wouldn't be able to hug you. See why it isn't, I was looking for opportunity to have a physical contact, but we thank COVID for making this possible, because it is easiest way of handling our issues now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Her Excellency Barrister Mrs. Stella Odife. Like you said, our time is fast spent. I'm sorry we won't be able to take any further comments or questions, but we would like to say a big thank you to the organizers of this webinar. We'd like to thank ComDev, Community Development Projects, ComDev. Well, thank you so much in conjunction with Women Organization for Gender Issues, WOGI. We thank you all so much. And then we also thank our participants who have actually joined and stayed with us for this long. We've stayed for over 2 hours now. So we really thank you. And then we'll thank our keynote speaker, Dr. Mrs. Nkiruka Ifekwem, as well as other discussants, Honorable Ambassador Chibuzo Sigwe, Madam Toro, Mrs. Toro Ladapo. We thank you all so much for all your contributions. And I'm sure that we will all continue to be the voice and for the change that we'll definitely want to see amongst us. So let's all continue to be the voice. Let's speak up wherever we find ourselves and continue to excel and lead exemplarily. So thank you so much, everybody. I'd like to say good afternoon to everyone who's been here and stayed with us all this while. Thank you so much. And we'll look forward to inviting you again some other time for another webinar, which I'm sure would be talking about our actions that we've all taken. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.